I have an update for you on a 37-year-old cold case out of Bullhead City, Arizona. For decades, this victim was only known as Castleberry Kate, but now investigators there say they've been able to give her her name back. On May 15th of 1989, a construction crew discovered skeletal remains buried in a vacant lot on Castleberry Lane in Bullhead City. And at the time, investigators believed she was somewhere between 17 and 19 years old. And they also believed she had been deceased for somewhere between 2 and 10 years before she was found. So that put the estimated time of death within a fairly broad window, happening somewhere between 1979 and 1987. They said she had shoulder-length brown hair that may have been partially bleached, extensive dental work, and she was wearing a distinctive multicolored owl earring. While they did not know her name, they knew for sure this was a homicide because they recovered a bullet from her skull. And investigators kept working this case for decades, but they never could find any leads or suspects or make any arrests. But investigators decided to take a different approach in 2024 when the Mojave County Sheriff's Office Special Investigations Unit approached Bullhead City Police about a possible federal grant for forensic genetic genealogy testing. And the grant was approved and the evidence was submitted to the DNA Doe Project. By late 2025, investigative genetic genealogists with the DNA Doe Project had identified Sonya Langan as a likely match, and then detectives went on to contact surviving relatives who cooperated with the investigation and provided DNA samples to confirm the identification. And in May of 2026, Sonya Alice Langan was positively identified. I want to take just a second and give a huge shout out to the original investigative team for how they collected and preserved the evidence. They had no idea that DNA technology would be where it is today, and that what they did back then would give a usable sample to be able to identify these remains and potentially get some closure for the families. So a huge thank you to them, because without their efforts, we would not be here. And this case is a little bit different than some of the others I've covered because detectives learned that Sonya had never been formally reported missing to law enforcement. And according to surviving family members, she left home around 1982 when she was about 17 to 18 years old. And they told investigators their strained family relationships and extended periods without contact were not uncommon. So because of that, her relatives believe that she left on her own because she was unhappy at home. And then family members told investigators that she had dropped out of Kingman High School as a freshman in 1979 before the family moved to Bullhead City. They recalled living near River Glen Drive and said Sonya worked at Burger King before she left home. So after speaking to family, the police still had very little to go on. I mean, they knew who she was, but the family wasn't able to provide very many details or anything because they thought she left voluntarily. But now the Bullhead City Police investigators and families are searching for answers into who did this to Sonya. So if you knew Sonya Langan, or if you have any information about her disappearance or death, please contact the Bullhead City Police Department at 928-763-9200 and ask to speak with detectives, because even after all of these years, any information you have could be the key that investigators need. I will bring you updates as they become available. Follow along for more true crime case analysis and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.